One moment I was a regular human drifting off to sleep in my bed. The next, I'm adrift in open ocean, stripped of every piece of my humanity, no flesh, no lungs, no limbs. My entire existence has been compressed into a single teal teardrop sapphire. 3 inches long, floating weightless above a coral reef, beside an unmarked volcanic island. I cannot blink, cannot breathe, cannot move. All I can do is see, think, and wonder how I've become something straight out of every dungeon fantasy novel I ever read. I am a dungeon core, trapped in a world where mana fuels monsters, adventurers hunt dungeon cores for power, and every stranger who steps foot on my beach wants to steal, conquer, or kill me. This is the story of the sapphire core that built an unbeatable labyrinth, learned elemental magic from intruders, and turned an empty volcanic cave into a death trap hidden beneath a forgotten island named Medea. Panic hit me the second I realized I couldn't draw breath. The tide dragged my gem body onto a black sand beach, shoving me into a massive cliffside cave. Sunset dyed the cave ceiling with orange and pink light, and I slowly unlocked my first power, mana. I visualized slow, deep breaths to draw floating colorless mana motes toward my facets, twisting them into glowing orbital rings around my sapphire form. At first, I could do nothing but circulate the energy, until a seagull flew too close to my mana burst. My mana flooded its body, rewrote its mana circuits, and bound the bird to my will. Through its eyes, I mapped the whole island, an active volcano, thick tropical rainforest, and endless reef teeming with fish. Next, I bent the black volcanic sand to my command. I wove the grid into a 5-foot obsidian pedestal shaped like a cupping stone hand, lifting my core off the wet sand and anchoring the structure with deep rock roots. I carved winding triangular tunnels deeper into the cliff, expanding 4 vast caverns connected by narrow disorienting passages. I craved light to fill my dark caves, so I compressed pure mana into a tiny teal artificial star held aloft by stone hands. It cast haunting, shifting light across every wall, a beacon I quickly hid deep inside my dungeon to avoid drawing unwanted eyes. With my cave system finished, I needed guardians. Tiny beach crabs became my first soldiers. I flooded their bodies with mana to spawn monster cores inside their flesh, mutating 3 specialized breeds: bulky shelled brawlers with spiked mace pincers, agile gray assassin crabs that blended perfectly into rock, and night crabs wielding a shield claw or sword claw. I named my first boss Sebastian, a pony-sized crab knight to guard the first floor's arena. Days later, a 3-masted merchant ship drifted to my island, blown off course by a brutal storm. Captain Eli Hart led a 7-man crew into my caves, confident they could loot whatever treasure a small dungeon held. My crab army ambushed them the second they stepped into the first cavern. The brawlers blocked their paths, assassins struck from hidden rock crevices, and Sebastian cut down 2 sailors before the survivors fled back to their boat. As the 2 dead men's mana drifted to my core, I absorbed fragments of their memories, finally understanding human speech, potions, and mana combat. The sailors raced to the nearest port to alert the Adventurers Guild of a newly discovered lost dungeon. The guild wasted no time sending a 4-person elite party to assess my power: a blind mani seer named Layla, a heavy sword knight felon, a stealth rogue Teak, and a fire mage Herna. Layla's mana sight instantly spotted my camouflaged assassin crabs, picking them off with mana blades before they could strike. The team sliced through wave after wave of my crab soldiers, pushing all the way to Sebastian's arena. The boss crab fought ferociously, and in a stroke of chaotic luck, he absorbed leftover fire from Herna's fireball spell. I guided him to feed his own mana into the flames, twisting the orange fire into my signature teal magic fire coating both his shield and sword pincer. The human party was stunned by my monster's ability to steal and wield elemental magic. Even with their combined strength, Sebastian crushed Herna beneath his massive body as he died. I claimed the fire mage's mana and all her knowledge of flame enchantments, then built Tomato, a new grey rock crab knight to replace my fallen first boss. I crafted a mania-infused reward spring at the top of the stairs, enchanted stalactites dripped liquid mana healing water for anyone who defeated the first floor boss. A small peace offering to avoid being labeled a mindless killing dungeon. While the guild recovered from their devastating loss, I expanded downward to build my second floor, half-submerged flooded labyrinth, crisscrossed by winding saltwater tunnels. I mutated reef fish into 3 aquatic guardians, fast-slicing arrowfish, toothy bloodfish, and sharp-scale bluefish that shed razor metal scales and channel lightning. Their queen Sanguina, a 5-foot giant bloodfish, ruled the fully submerged boss arena at the maze's end. After that, I dug a massive underground jungle cavern dubbed the Green Hell, hulling fertile rainforest dirt underground and planting tropical vines, fruit bushes, and towering trees. I bred tiny island lizards into sentient 3-foot kobold lizardfolk who built treetop villages and worshipped me as their creator god. I added 5 fake boss chambers as traps, each guarded by armored kobold hunters and a fire-wielding kobold shaman. My third floor boss, 8-foot drake Kinmushu, wielded a crab shell halberd and breathed teal mana fire. Locked in a mud pit arena, invaders would drop straight into upon entry. As I finished construction, a noble named Median arrived with an entire settlement fleet, claiming the island as his own Medea Island. He built a wooden town, a pier, and a guarded fence right outside my dungeon's entrance, banning anyone from destroying my core, yet ordering endless adventurer parties to delve my floors and harvest my monster resources. Wave after wave of rookie adventurers tested my first floor, most fleeing injured after underestimating my coordinated crab army. A cocky 5-man party lost their leader Rorgus to Tomato's ambush, fleeing the dungeon broken and terrified to spread word of my brutal defenses. To strengthen my first floor crabs, I boosted their shell durability, enlarged their brains for independent group tactics, and added automatic falling stalactite traps triggered by human footsteps. When platinum-ranked guild elites Layla's aunt and uncle arrived to clear my second floor, they brought lightning magic that wiped out dozens of my fish monsters in seconds. I rapidly evolved every aquatic beast overnight. My sharp scalefish gained conductive silver scales to blast lightning clouds underwater, while all other fish grew insulated shells to resist electric spells. The elite team's lightning mage nearly wiped out my entire fish swarm, costing them a cleric and mage's lives, leaving one rogue maimed without a leg. They teleported back to the surface, shaken, and filed a report warning the guild that this lost dungeon learns, evolves, and copies every spell humans cast inside its walls. Now, 4 fully functional floors stretch between my sapphire core and the island's surface. My crabs, fish, and kobolds breed non-stop to replenish my armies. I've mastered fire magic, crafted lightning-wielding aquatic monsters, and built layered mazes designed to disorient and trap even the strongest veteran adventurers. The human settlement above grows larger every day, sending new delvers into my caves non-stop. The guild plans to assemble a massive full-scale raiding party to push past my third jungle floor and hunt for my hidden core deep beneath the warren of rat tunnels I've begun carving as my 4th level. They believe I am an ancient, long-conquered dungeon barely clinging to power. They have no idea I was once a regular human, trapped and reborn as a sentient sapphire core, constantly learning, endlessly adapting, and ready to burn every intruder who dares dig too deep into my world. The real war between the dungeon and humanity is only just beginning.